As soon as I go live, the wind want to pick up and start rustling stuff. Anyways, giving honor to the Most High for waking us up this morning, getting us on our way, and giving us another chance to be better today than we were yesterday. Guide us, Lord God. For those of you, hey Thunder, what it do? For those of you that celebrate Good Friday and Easter, happy Easter to all. Oh, it sounds fine to you? Okay, good. Yeah, as soon as I went live and the wind started kicking up, but I got bags and things like that, and I'm kind of snacking. So, what you up to though, Thunder? How was your week so far? It is Friday. My week is going all right. No complaints. I mean, I can complain, which is one of the reasons why I decided to go live so that I could fuss and vent to y'all. But my doctor has suggested that I get a device to track, certain things about my health, right? Thunder says, so far, so good. How about you? Yeah, no complaints. God woke us up this morning, so that's the most important thing. I think as long as we got breath in our body, man, we could do anything that we really set our minds to. Some of us may be limited more than others, but as long as you got breath in your body, you got to realize that you still got a purpose. And there's a reason why he woke you up this morning. Knowledge of self and knowing our purpose in life, honestly, that's what's going to sustain us. Amen. Right? But my doctor has suggested that I get, a thing to track, like blood pressure, heart rate, stuff like that. And because I'm old. And so I went to Target. And when you go to those major chain stores, they don't really know much about the products they're selling. They just back there, right? And just whatever you want, that's locked behind the counter, point to it, I get it for you kind of thing, right? So I couldn't really ask questions. There's a little thing that kind of tells you what each thing does. So I asked him, I was like, I need this to track this specifically. And he said, oh, yeah, all of them do that. But yeah, this is a good one. It's good. So I spent, over $100 for this Fitbit because, you hear Fitbit and you think, okay, Fitbit, they're known. That thing couldn't do nothing that I really wanted it to do. And then on top of that, what I really wanted it to do is behind a paywall. So not only do you have to pay all this money for this piece of equipment, right? And this wasn't even the most recent one. This was like a number 3. But after you pay for all of that, just for the thing in itself, you got to subscribe to the premium account in order to get it to track certain things. Look at Lady Diana. Hey, Lady Di, happy Easter. I hope all is well. I've been meaning to text you. It's like I got to reach out to Lady Di because she always messaging me, and I don't ever be the first one, so I apologize for that. I am horrible when it comes to like calling people back, text. Like it's just, I got to do better. Like my aunt, how old is my auntie? My auntie is like 89, 90. No, she might be 91 or 92 now. No, she might be 90. She used to call me all the time, and then she stopped calling me. And I think now she's waiting for me to call her. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta call my auntie. It's probably been like a couple months. I gotta call and check on her. But yeah, I am so horrible. I'm just like my mom. My mom. Me and mom, we are just, and my sister, we are not phone people. We are not people that sit on the phone and talk for, I could do that with like people I haven't seen in forever, and then we can catch up kind of thing. But I'm a just real cut and dry. Like if you call me, it's got to be for a specific purpose, something we want to discuss, and then we get off kind of thing or whatever. But I do got to text you though to say all that, right? See, this is how I know I'm getting old too, because I'll be over explaining. I didn't have to say all that. I didn't have to share all that information with y'all, did I? No, I didn't. But that's what older people do. 80th middle, jump up and do a backflip off. You gonna super chat me some money for me to do all that? I got bad knees, ADF, so I can't do what you asking. Now, if I had my son out here, he would do it. I did, Thunder. So I did. So the fact that they wanted me to subscribe to the premium account just for them to check certain things, I said, you've got to be kidding me. And that's just how capitalistic this world, because I can't even say it's America. It's everywhere. But I was so disappointed. Like, dang, you want me to pay for that? So, plus, what I wanted, they couldn't really do. So I did. I took it back and got my money back. And I went online to Amazon and I bought this thing called a Fit Cloud Pro. And guess what? It do everything and more. I don't even have to tell it to do it. You know what I'm saying? I could just go to it. And that was the thing with the Fitbit. You could only control what the Fitbit does on your phone. You can't go to it and do it. Here, I can actually go here, tap this, record that. And this was only $50. And I ain't got, I have an app, but you don't have to pay for the app. The app is free. See, that's why we got to do our research instead of just going into stuff. You got to do your research. Even when finding a partner, do your research. Just kidding. I do not want to get on that topic. Thunder says hi to Lady Di. You are forgiveness. Thank you. Hey, Ahmed. Have you seen the new Black Mirror episodes? They cover the very same thing. Listen. Okay, so somebody else was talking about Black Mirror, right? And I watched the first couple seasons and then I kind of fell off, right? But yes, I watched the first 2 episodes. Well, I watched the first episode and then I fell asleep on the second one. But there's one about a lady who would just blurt out ads, right? And then she had to keep subscribing and upgrading in order to get her body to stop doing things, right? Is that the one you're talking about, Thunder? But yeah, Black Mirror, they be on it. They be on it because it's when you put it in that aspect and you make it more direct towards a person, just things that go on in society, it's really, really weird. And it's really sad, when you think about it, because that's really how life is. Yep. I think, was that the first or the second one? One of them I fell asleep on. I think that was the second one. And I haven't finished it yet. Guy says, oh my God, Black Mirror was awesome on it. Okay, you're on episode 3. So you're right along with me. Yeah. Well, I got to go back and finish episode 2 and see what they're talking about. But yeah, wild stuff. Very wild. It just makes you think, though, what be going on in the world. Was Black Mirror the same episode where it was, who was that one actress I love? The girl that did, what's that movie with the black cowboys? Y'all remember that movie? It was really good. I watched it a couple of times. I made my son watch it too. It came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Ride 'em Hard? No, what was that? Anyways, the girl that was in that, Jazzy Beats. So she did an episode on I think it was Black Mirror, where, gosh, what happened in the episode? I just know that she was at a house and there was all kind of debauchery going on inside of this house. Just weird stuff. I want to, Jason. Second was The Office Coworker. The Office Coworker one. The Office Coworker. I must have fell asleep at the beginning of the second episode because I don't remember. So I must have just finished the first one and then started on the second one and then fell asleep. Thanks, Jason. I do want to go see Sinners. I looked at that. Me and my son went to go see. What did we just go see? Something. And as I was walking out, I seen the big poster for it. I do want to go see. I like Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a really stand-up guy. I like him. I like him a lot. Sorry, y'all. Thunder says, I'm old enough to remember the original Twilight Zone and the Outer Limits. To me, this is a new version of that. Yep, that's it. And you know what I started watching recently? Alfred Hitchcock. I've been binging the first season of Alfred Hitchcock because it kind of reminded me of that. With The Office Worker is a reminder why I'm kind to everyone, just in case. You got to be, because you never know what a person's going through and what a person might do. You got to be cool to everybody. My mom told us a story when we were younger, because I don't know if we were teasing somebody, but I remember being a teenager, and my mom was telling us that there was a kid that went to her school. Did they have school buses back then? She said school bus for some reason. She said school bus. My mom was born 1958. I don't know. But she was saying that there was this kid that was kind of overweight and just kind of weird. And people would tease him. And he ended up coming back and hurting now. It wasn't one of those like typical school things like just happened at FSU. He was a kid in the neighborhood, but she remembers him from riding her bus. And she told us a story about him, you know, and she said she was grateful that she was always nice to him and cool with him and never, you know. But yeah, she told us that just as a cautionary tale to always treat people because you never know what they might do. Yep, Alfred Hitchcock. Good stuff. I be trying to make my son watch old stuff. Sometimes he'll sit through it, sometimes he won't. You know, if I give him a snack, he'll sit through anything. As long as he got a snack to eat, he'll sit there and watch anything. Especially if he's on like a iPad or a game ban. He's on restriction. He's not allowed to, you know, use any electronics or whatever. But then I'm like, you can watch TV, but you're gonna watch what I want you to watch. He'll sit there and he'll watch it. He might be doodling or something with it, but he'll sit there and watch it. I might get him to watch some Alfred Hitchcock. You guys remember Tales from the Crypt? That used to be my stuff. Lady Di, you on it? Because guess what? The person never forgets how you made them feel. She said, I'm always nice because you never know when someone will come after you years later. Years later. People be harboring resentment and pain. And that's a horrible way to be. And sometimes people have to release it, you know, and they don't know a healthy way to do that. And so, you know, they got years of plotting and planning. And next thing you know, something happening to you. And you have no idea why. Because you done forgot all about it. I mean, we should just be that way anyway because God commands us to, right? But you know, nobody's perfect. We all mess up here and there. I was trying my best to be nice at the lady at the dealership today, boy. Miss Glinda was trying her best, child. Now here's my thing: if you work in the service department, you got to know a little something about cars. But you know what? I bet you what, by the time Miss Glinda is done training up fully at the job, she gonna know a lot more than what she started out with. Miss Glinda was trying her best to explain to me what the heck they was looking at. I said, Miss Glinda, I need to talk. Can I talk to the man that's actually looking at? Because you really don't, like, you confusing the hell out of me. She said, yeah, let me take you back there. Let me take you back there. So I went in for an oil change, y'all, and my speakers don't be working sometimes. Like when I went to my trip to Massanet with my kid, my car speakers didn't work the whole time. And I honestly believe everything happens for a reason. I believe God did that so that I could focus on the road because it was dark. It was overcast, misty, and then raining, and I was going through windy mountains and stuff like that. So that, I think that was for a reason. Anyways, it didn't happen again for like maybe 4 months later. It happened a little bit. I never heard a pop though. And then it started working again. So I'm like, let me just get it checked out. So she said, well, that'll be $180 to diagnose it. I said, okay, cool. $180. That's a lot just to diagnose, but whatever, right? Let me just knock it out because I don't want it to go out if it was something simple like a fuse just needs to be replaced, right? So they do the diagnostic. Miss Glinda come back again and she say, you don't have any speakers on your side panels. I'm like, what? Am I supposed to? She's like, I don't know. I said, Miss Glinda, you don't listen. Now, let me take it. So we went back again, talked to the man. I said, what's wrong with the speaker? Because then she brought me a paper that said, if you just want to replace them, it's going to be $868. I'm not paying $868 and I don't even know what the heck is wrong. So I went back to Drew. I'm like, Jason, what's wrong with the speakers? He goes, I couldn't get it to not work. He goes, that's how it happens. If something be wrong, you bring it here and then it don't work. I said, okay. I said, so is one of the speakers about to go out? He goes, I don't know. He goes, honestly, with these things, you either just replace it or you don't. I said, you want me to replace the whole speaker system? And you don't even know why it works intermittently? He's like, yeah. And I said, so y'all gonna charge me $168 or $180 to diagnose when you don't know why my speakers keep going out? So the lady that was, running up the things, she was just as sweet as she can be. And I think that's her job, is to just be extra nice to kind of soften the blow for people having to pay this stuff, because the whole time she's talking about her poodle. Oh, look at what my poodle did. And I'm looking at her like, what your poodle did? I'm paying $268 and all I got was a oil change. But I just sat there and just said, bad doggy. I know. You know what else they did at this dealership? It's pissing me off now that I think about it. They got a new owner. So because I bought my car there, anytime I got my state inspections done, it was free. Not anymore. They got a big old sign that says, if you were in any of these programs, they no longer exist. No more free, blah, 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 blah. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then they took away the little kids area where they had a little basketball hoop and all. They took all that away. I said, so what's going on here? We got a new owner. It's a woman too. This is a woman speaking. There's a woman too, and she just took charge, and all the programs are no longer here. And I was going to ask, well, why'd you need to tell me it was a woman? But why? Why? No purpose in getting into all that. So that's my rant for the day, y'all. It's not hard just to leave folks alone. That's true. It's true. It's really about ego and pride. If you lower your ego, it's easy. But if you have a big ego, it's hard for a lot of people. Oh, I want a cigarette after I just ate them chips. Damn it. Tales from the Dark Side. Yes, that was another good one. My mom used to love Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah. I remember Hitchhiker. That used to come on USA. Yeah. My granny used to watch Hitchhiker. Respect from Dubai. What up, Muhammad? Assalamu alaikum. I like down. I don't know what that is. Thunder. Nope. I'll be listening to my Bluetooth earbuds. So the oil change itself was 60. It was like 39 for the filter and the oil, and then whatever. So it was $60 for the oil change. I ain't got like no luxury car, so it shouldn't cost that much. Thanks, Sohan. I'm at the park. And it's nothing but teenagers, I think, playing hooky, because there was some in the bathroom, some outside of the bathroom waiting, and some over there in the bleachers. And I'm like, it's not even 2 o'clock. Y'all still supposed to be in school. There's a couple of little kids, but it's peaceful right now. Thunder says things are about to get tight around here. China says they are decreasing freight to the U.S. You know, Thunder, I went to Costco the other day, and I bought a big thing of paper towels, and then a big thing of toilet paper. And I was gonna get a big thing of batteries, but I said, I'll just pay as is, because I don't buy batteries that often. That was like $20 for like a gang of them. And I know you always talk about staying prepared and things like that. But there was a guy on YouTube that was breaking down all of the things that you should get because of, China doing their thing. Yeah, China, they're a cold piece of work, ain't they? I mean, honestly, who didn't know that a lot of that stuff was made over there? Like, who really didn't know that? I think common sense will tell you that a lot of those luxury brands were made. And I mean, we get everything from them. So it only makes sense. You're paying for the label, just like that Fitbit that didn't do half the shit I wanted to do. You're paying for the name. That's it. It's just the name. But the quality, I got some stuff that's off brand that lasts me years compared to yeah. Thanks, Ishak. I appreciate you. Temu. Oh, you like Temu? Yeah. See, I can't. I refuse to order from. I don't know. I ordered something from Temu one time, and I don't go off of their app because that's how a lot of people were getting scammed and identity being stolen by going through the app. So I ordered it through the actual website and things like that. But I think one time, and everything just had this real bad chemical type smell to it. It made me feel some kind of way. I was like, I mean, I know all of it comes from over there, but it was just something about this, so I'm thinking conspiracy, like, I don't know what they putting in this stuff. You know what I'm saying? What's in the plastic? What's in it? So I stopped ordering from them. But they do be having some good deals. They do. Everything we use is basically from China. Yeah. Yeah. I recently watched the Hitchhiker intro. Dude was wrong as hell for wearing those jeans. No, I'm not sure. He was just hitchhiking. He was saying a little shy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do. He was doing more than hitchhiking, okay? You gonna make me go back and watch the intro to that. Oh my gosh. Yep. The Hitchhiker. Some good shows from back then. Lady says, yeah, Mo, I can care less about name brands. I go to Temu online. You must wash everything before. Yep. Definitely wash your stuff before you wear it. Faux show. I definitely do that. I think the only thing I've never washed before wearing is like heavy coats. I don't wash heavy coats. I should though. I could put it like on the sensitive cycle, I guess. Delicates. But everything else, yeah, I definitely wash. Ooh, especially like underwear and stuff. You got to. You got to. It only makes sense. Only makes sense. So how are you guys faring? What else is going on? Diana, did you have a good birthday? Did you celebrate very good with your babies, your daughter and your granddaughter, your babies? This is the weekend, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my son this weekend. He's got soccer game tomorrow at 1:30. So we'll be out there for that. Other than that, I don't know. I think we're just going to chill, clean up maybe a little bit, come to the park. I do not go to church on Easter Sunday because that is when everybody and their mama decides they love the Lord and want to go so they can take pictures and post for the gram. So I probably won't be going. If we do, we're going to go to the early service because it just be too crowded, too much be going on. Easter and Christmas is crazy. So I gotta see. That means I gotta go to bed early enough to get up so that we can make it to the 8 o'clock service. But yeah, do you guys celebrate Easter? And if so, are you going to church? I heard a Temu warehouse caught fire and completely destroyed. They say the damage was estimated to 48.36 billion or dollars? What, are you trying to be funny? The Temu warehouse only cost $48.36. On sale. Everything be on sale. That's the. I mean, I guess they charging the accurate prices for things, because I mean, it really shouldn't cost $20 for a water bottle. If you can get it on Temu for $3, that makes more sense. The same thing from Temu for $3, but yet in Target it's 25. Like, it's just wrong. So wrong. Yes, we had fun on. Oh, it was your daughter's birthday on Wednesday. I thought your birthday though was before hers. We got season tickets to the horse races. Ooh, okay. I don't bet money. Just go for the thrill of it. Oh, you should bet one time, just a little bit, just $5, and see if you can win. Temu has some darn good. They do. They have really, really good deals. A lady that I watch on YouTube, she purchased a patio furniture set from Temu for $150, and it was nice. It had the wicker, and then it came with the whole the cushions and everything, and the couch, and then the two side, and then the table with the glass top for $150. She sold her whole backyard for $150. Temu. That lets you know we just getting ripped off over here. The people want to come here so bad. I mean, listen, America, you really can make good money here if you put your mind to it. You really can. You really can make it. Don't understand why foreigners want to come here despite all of the crime and all of the issues we have. People still want to come here because it's still a better way of life for them um, than where they are. They're willing to risk it, and I don't blame them. But you really do have to have a plan. You got to have a plan. I look at some of these people sometimes on social media that would rather beg than to figure out what's going on. And I was listening to a motivational talk earlier where the guy was saying to women, you can't just rely on your emotions alone. Like I know a particular YouTuber, I spoke about her before, who will come on and tell all her business and will cry, in hopes to get donations so that she could pay her rent. And it's just like, how far do you think you're gonna? I mean, really, you're risking a lot just for crumbs. Like you can't build a foundation off of that. You can't live a quality life like that for long. You know, you could probably raise a couple thousand, but you never gonna make tens of thousands, 100,000. You're not gonna become a millionaire. You're not gonna get rich coming online crying for sympathy for cash apps. Like it just doesn't work that way. And sometimes I wonder, what the generation before me and my generation is currently teaching their children, because I don't understand the level of delusion. Now, I understand that there are circumstances and things that prevent and prohibit people from being their best or being able to accomplish certain things. But at the end of the day, like when you're grown and it's just you and what you're doing hasn't been working in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like when do you finally say to yourself, okay, I got to do something different, I got to do something better? you know we all have to learn the skill, we got to learn the trade, we got to do something, we have to step out of our comfort zone if we want more. Now some people are satisfied with that, right? Because success is relative, right? So success could mean um, where people are currently, they feel successful, you know. But in the grand scheme of things, if you have to come online and beg and cry and show all these different emotions in order to get a dollar, um, I don't think that's success. I don't think it is. You know, Mm-mm-mm. I just got a fancy hat from Temu for the Kentucky Derby Day on May. Oh, that's gonna be cute. Lady Di, are you on Instagram? I don't think we're friends on Instagram. I want to see that hat. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. You guys, there's going to be a concert in September with Charlie Wilson, which I'm not a big fan of his, but you got Charlie Wilson, you got Jodeci, El DeBarge, somebody else that's big. Was it Maxwell? Somebody else that was, for some reason I can't remember the big name. Look at Frank Brown. What's good, Frank Brown? How you doing? Happy Friday. Are you on IG? Okay, I'll have to message you to get your IG name. Um, But all of these artists are going to be here, and I want to go so bad. And it's going to be at the Virginia Amphitheater, the same place that I took my son to go see Kids Bop. And it is such a nice theater. Like, who are the people that do it? Who are those famous people that do concerts and stuff? They talk about them all the time, how they be overcharging and stuff. But when they are in charge of an event, everything ran smooth, from parking to getting to our seat to the sound quality, to, because it's an amphitheater, so you're outside, but it's got these things around it, so you can still see outside, but then everything is still covered at the same time. And I mean, the sound was exquisite, lighting was good, everything was just seamless, and it wasn't nothing to get in the park and to actually leave on time. You know how when you go to events and you got to leave and you're sitting there waiting, trying to, everything just ran, so I was like, Live Nation, they they know what they're doing. So anyways, they're putting on this event, all of those cool artists. My thing is, I ain't got nobody to go with, y'all. And let me tell you something, the last time I went to a concert by myself, I'll never do it again. I like to pride myself on somebody being able to go to dinner by myself. I can go to the movies by myself. I can go to the beach by myself. I can do a lot of stuff by myself. But going to concerts where it's mainly R&B is going to be nothing but couples. And I can't be the only, because the last one I went to was a duet couple that was singing. And I was by myself, and I was the only single person there. Not a good feeling. I enjoyed the show. I did. And soon it was over, I was out of there. But so I'm still debating on if I want to go and then just take the risk. But would y'all go? Would y'all go to a concert by yourself? It was mostly R&B music, when you know it's gonna be couples and stuff. Then it says, sometimes I feel like a dinosaur and completely outdated. The world and society has changed so much, and what I was taught about living a decent life barely no uses or applies. No one uses it or applies it to day-to-day life. Yeah, it's definitely different. Times are very different. People think differently. It's so weird. I normally right now I would be on Messy Michonne live right now. She's reviewing Michelle Obama's podcast, where Tracy Ellis Ross is on there, right? I already recorded my video, so I don't want to watch it. I can't, if I know somebody's reviewing the same thing that I'm reviewing, I don't watch their stuff until after I've posted mine, right? So, because I still have to edit, and I don't want to accidentally put something in there that maybe they reference, right? I just, because then I feel like I got to give that person a shout out, and I don't like to do that all the time. So I'd rather just wait until I'm done with my stuff and then post it. Then I'll go back and watch it. But she's reviewing that. So anyways, I watched it earlier, and there's a section in there where Tracy Ellis Ross states how people are different, and how society and how Gen X are just on a different level, and how she's learned so much about what being a woman is from the younger generation. I said, bitch, how? How? She said, when it comes to, femininity and what we as women are supposed to be doing, you've been a woman for damn near 50 years. What you mean you don't know what you're supposed to do as a woman? You need this new generation to tell you who you are as a woman? People are weird. People are strange. And this world is different than what we grew up on, which is why I stick to what I know and what makes sense to me. Other stuff, I don't have the time to try to figure it out. I don't care to. It's ridiculous. I just don't. Last concert I went to was awesome. It was Gregory Porter. He was amazing. It had front row seats. All right. That sounds like fun. Were you by yourself, or did you go? Oh, Thunder, you gotta give us an update on your friend that turned 65 in the perfume. What perfume did you end up getting, and did she like it? But how was that concert? Did you enjoy it? Were you by yourself? By the way, I'm not going to be on here long because I've already been on here 35 minutes, and I have it on D&D, and my son is still in school. So I just saw some kids walk by, which reminded me of him. And I don't like to stay on D&D too long. Lady Di says, I get you. I saw Frankie Beverly and Maze back in 95. I never went alone again. Yeah, Frankie Beverly and Maze. Yes. Just imagine all the couples, and I can't get over you. So they all dancing with each other, and here you are. Nope. I will never do it again. Never again. That's the confirmation I needed right there, Lady Di. Unless I can find somebody that will go with me. Then it says she learned from the younger generation about what a woman is. They can't even define what a woman is. Thank you. I was taken aback. Hey, Queen Selection, how are you? Happy Easter. Look at Shots in the building. DMW Shots 247. Make sure you guys check out both of their channels, okay? What's happening? TGI Friday. Yay. Happy Friday. Nothing much. Just chilling. Just chopping it up with y'all. Not going to be on here very long. Just talking about everything from my Fitbit debacle to the dealership and their ridiculous prices to going to concerts alone, which I will never do again. Because you don't hardly ever go to concerts with like your homegirl, depending on what it is. Like I went to Anita Baker's concert. That was the last concert I went to, was to see Anita Baker, and I went with my friend, female. She had her daughter bought her tickets, and so she took me. Her daughter didn't want to go, of course, but me and her went, and oh my God, thoroughly enjoyed it because it just reminded me of my childhood the whole time, right? So it was me and her, and at that concert, it was a Mother's Day concert, so there were a lot of women that were in groups and aunts and things like that. So that was cool. But a concert like an R&B concert, like these people, nah, it's gonna be nothing but couples, and I can't do it. Yeah, this field is beautiful. Thanks. I'm at the park. There's some teenagers right now. But yeah, this is not too far from the house, and they got a little thing back there that kind of tells you about all the vegetation, and then there's a soccer field across the way. Coincidentally, every time I try to play soccer with my kid here, a bunch of kids come talking about it's our turn up, we're practicing. So, and then across over there, way over there, across the parking lot is a trail. So I like to walk that trail. It's very nice, very serene. Ignore my armpit, y'all. Don't even trip. It is 2:18 p.m. here. What time is it there? Happy Resurrection Weekend. Christ is King. Amen. Yes, happy Easter. Shots, we were talking about Easter too. You know how people only go to church during Easter and Christmas. And so I'm like, if I go, we're gonna have to do the early morning. I can't do the 11 o'clock service because it's gonna be too packed and crowded. Plus I can't never get to church on time. Like I got to really work on that. I used to be good about getting, but for some reason it's just always be something at the last minute. Well, let me get them something to eat before, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want them starving. So I got to work on that, because it's not respectful, and I want to show the Most High the most respect. Sometimes if it's like beyond like 15 minutes, I just won't go. And then, me and my son will do our thing at home. It's afternoon. Yes, it is a beautiful park, Lady Di. Thunder says the best concerts I went to was BB King and the other was Sade. Oh, you went to see Sade? Where did you see her at? Thanks, Queen. I bought them online. Zilul. I tried to do a affiliation thing, affiliate marketing for them, but they're 2 years old, so I can't capitalize on them. But yeah, these are from Zilul, and they transition, in the prescription, all in one. Can't beat it. But then I got some other ones. But anyways, let me shut up. Here I go, like an old lady about to explain about my other glasses. I bet BB King was nice. I would love to see Sade. She was on the radio yesterday. Love is Stronger Than Pride. One of my favorite songs. My mom used to play that whole album, and my mom used to have a record player, and she would play that whole freaking album in the morning sometimes. Yes, Lord. Anyways, y'all, I think I'm gonna get on up out of here. I've been on here for about 40 minutes now. I appreciate you all coming through. Make sure you tap the like button, subscribe if you haven't, share if you won't. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Sade was a boss back in the day. Facts. Facts. Beautiful woman. Very demure. Very classy. Good music that makes you think, you know? Like her songs and her music is very mellow and very, but if you ever listen to the things that she's saying, very powerful, you know? Positive stuff that people need to be reminded of. So Sade is good. I'm probably about to put her on right now when I get out here with y'all and get in the car. I gotta go pick up the dog. Well, the dog is at home. I'm gonna go take her for a nice long walk. I was gonna bring her here, but I didn't feel like dealing with kids trying to come up and her and stuff, so I left her there. But I gotta take her for a walk, and then me and Bishop will bring her back here so that she can get some exercise. Years ago, I was in New Orleans and she was doing a one night only in Houston. I drove like a bad. I know that's right. 10 years ago, how much was the concert tickets? Do you remember back then? Because the price of tickets have just stupid prices now. I would imagine it was reasonable 10 years ago, right? Lady Di says, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I need to cut the grass today. Oh, man. I was looking at another lawnmower the other day, Lady Di, that was $3.99. I don't think it was the same brand, the Ryobu that you had mentioned. And I'm still debating. I just have my yard man come. So every time he come, I'm like, it can wait. But I need to get my son on that so he can start doing more. You know what I'm saying? And my neighbor wants to teach him some other stuff. So I'm really, really excited about him teaching him some more plumbing. And then he's going to teach him some HVAC stuff too. So, but yeah, got to have the kids stay busy. He got to stay busy, and he got to learn. If I knew how to change oil, I'd teach him that. But we'll find somebody to teach him that when he's 16. Less than 200, but you got great seats. Okay, nice. Thunder, you sound like you know how to get great deals. I need to holler at you next time I need me a ticket. I'm trying to go to Cali in this fall. Can you give me something for under the round trip for about 7 days? Under 600. Can you find me a ticket? Me and the son. I got to take him with me. Oh, you took your sister-in-law. Okay, nice. She's a Sade fan too. Yeah, I love those spur of the moment. So the one that I went to see was what's that couple? They sing the song "Far Away From Here, Far Away From Here, Far Away From Here." It's a neo soul group. Something Family Stone. They just happened to be in town, and I said, I'm going. I went and bought tickets and went, and yeah, I was the only person there. But yeah, I love that spur of the moment type stuff. For real, I was just joking, Thunder. You for real can find me some tickets for under $600 round trip, 7 days, Cali, sometime in either September, August or September. Let me know. Email me, moperspective@gmail.com. No E at the end. Email me. And I'm for real. I'm so for real. Because I know people who be getting deals all the time. And I be like, how come I can't never? What do y'all be doing? Do y'all have a hookup? And I tried using ChatGPT to find me some tickets one time. And they was like, sorry, but we cannot give real-time information. I was like, y'all can do everything else, huh? But you can't find me no cheap tickets? Oh, okay. All right, y'all, I got to go. You guys have a great, great, beautiful, blessed day that the Lord has made. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Yeah, and I'll see you guys later. Make sure to check out, I'm editing a video in the middle of editing a video, and it'll be up. Please watch my long form content. Help a sister out. I appreciate you. Don't just watch when it's something controversial, okay? I could talk about other stuff too. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you.